Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled. This is Mila J. Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale. 3, 2, 1, and countdown. You already know what it is. It's another Wednesday, so we live and direct on Hump Day right here. And it's time to holla at the homie on hot7025fm.com. The hottest station in the land. What's up, babe? Always checking in, tuning in, and tapping in. You are tuned in to the number one online or live in-person advice column there is on the planet. And that may be my own opinion, but hey, mine is the one that counts right now because I'm the one that's doing the talking. But we know what we're doing right here. We're here to get some advice. We're here to talk about some things. And we're here to shake it up and get ready for this holiday weekend we got going on that is upon us. And that's pretty much why the writer wrote in with the letter they talking about today. But I always like to give my disclaimer as my first thing. I let everybody know that I have not been in school for. I have not been paid any tuition for, and I have not been granted with any certificates that tell me that I am a psychologist, psychiatrist, or counselor, but I am more what you would think of as like a life coach, right? So I'm like the type of person that come through, tell you about my life, and help coach through yours, you know, and that's through things and situations that I've been through, or vicariously live close enough or next to another person to breathe upon me so I can sponge up their energy and how they handled it and squeeze it back out and give it to y'all out there in TV land or internet land or whatever land you in right now. You might be tuned in on the radio. You might be on the app. Heard we had a few incidents going on with the app recently, but I think those might have been fixed. The bugs have been kicked out of there on the app, and you can still have the hot7025fm.com app. That way you can take me with you anywhere you're going. So as people sit here and as they start to add on to the viewerships and stuff like that, we're going to talk a little bit about that. So that app can be found on your Android or in the Apple Store, if you like me. You got the blue bubbles, then you can get it in the Apple Store as well if you need to. Ask me, and I'll send it to you direct. That's if you got my number. If you ain't got my number already, I can't be out here just willy-nilly texting everybody like that because I can't let y'all have them digits because they've been the same for a long time, and I can't let everybody just jump on that line just yet. But, but you can always tune in right in to call me up here at 702-551-5261. Right here at hot7025fm.com. If you got something to say and say it with your chest, don't call up here and be all timid with your questions and stuff. Tell me what's on your mind, because that's what I'm here for. But we're going to talk about today's letter. We're going to dive into that, and we're going to find out why going on. What's going on, my neighbor? Happening. I hope, I was just talking about your sweet potato pies the other day. And Lawrence did let me know that you got one working for me. So if you need them, you know what I mean, make that happen. We can make it happen, Cap. I'm gonna share something with the baby. Of course, I got my grandson, my youngest of my grandkids in town right now. But young Duke, hey, it's coming. That's what I'm talking about. That's all. Hey, say less. I believe you. You ain't led me wrong and year. We've been living close in proximity, so I appreciate you for your pies. Because for those who don't know, I can eat a whole sweet potato pie to myself. This started back in the day on Fifth Avenue. My homeboy Jermaine, my friend Jermaine Lee Martin, Pastor Jermaine Lee Martin, his mom Brenda used to make me sweet potato pie. What's up, Double E? Always checking in my niece. I was down there in Kentucky, about to graduate with her master's. But Jermaine's mama Brenda used to hit me off with a couple of sweet potato pies at a time. But then I had to share them. I had to share them at that time. Like I had to share them with my mom, my sister. But see, my wife, she don't eat sweet potato pie. But I do. So that means I get the whole thing to myself. So that's one of my favorite traditions around the holidays, because they only sell eggnog around starting at Thanksgiving. And I like to spike my eggnog. That's how I started drinking brown liquor back in the day when I was a young tender age of like 12, 13. I started drinking brown liquor because I was drinking it in eggnog around the holiday season. So, and they only sell it it starts around like the end of October. You can start getting eggnog because people want to be able to make it for like some of the Halloween celebrations. But it really, really, really is a November thing. November through January, you can get eggnog. But I need eggnog spiked drink with that sweet potato pie though, Nicole. That's what I need though. But we talking holidays and we talking about family and stuff today. We're gonna dive straight into the letter. As always, you can always send me your letters at what up, Dakarai? What's up, Dakari Kofi checking in? What's happening with you, Click? You can always send me a letter at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. If you want to send me a letter, or if you're fortunate enough to have my 10-digit phone number, or you can call me, or if you know where I'm living at, you can slide a note underneath my garage door. Don't be knocking on my door, because if my ring cam go off and I ain't expecting you, I'm not responsible for what happened after that. So I won't do no pop-ups. Pop-up shops in public, but not pop-up shops at my crib. What's up, Kevin Cordova? You on the move today on vacation, but I wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to you and mine before I got to roll out. Love you both. We love y'all too, man. Be safe travels out there, man. I know you're going to illuminate some stuff. What's up, Ash? TSU in the building. How you doing, fam? But safe travels to y'all, Kev, and we'll holler when you get back, pimp. Appreciate you for always tuning in and tapping in, Kevin Cordova. Coldest lighting man in all of Vegas. If y'all ain't know, now you know. If you need some lights and stuff done for your special occasion, I don't care if it's just one letter, he gonna have something funky for you. He got all different styles. So Kevin Cordova, I appreciate you. Salute, brother. Safe travels out there on the road. But we talking holidays today. We talking family, and you know how it is when you got that one family member that's always doing something that you be like, here comes such and such. You know what I mean? You know, when such and such, you still love them. They still your family. You know, you still got to be able to rock with them because, that's fam. You going, to the END is my family. That's how I believe. So, but you always got one or two or three that always got their own type of shenanigans that they bring to the function. So today we talking about, I'm going to just get into the letter and let the letter do its explaining to you. So it says, Dear homie, where'd it go? Okay, there it is. Dear homie, I hope this letter finds you well. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and I'm finding myself facing a bit of a dilemma. You see, a family member of mine has a habit of bringing different dates to our Thanksgiving dinner each year. And it's not as if he's bringing different dates to different Thanksgiving dinners. He's bringing different dates to the same dinner at different times. Now, while I believe in being open-minded, it's becoming a bit awkward. I'm just wondering to you, and we get straight to the point and ask, how should I handle this situation without causing any discomfort or tension during our family gathering? Sincerely, Navigating Thanksgiving Tension. So this one came across the hotline quick, fast, and in a hurry. I got this one on Monday. So I'm figuring they know their cousin or family member. They just say family member because they didn't say cousin, because sometimes it's your uncle. Most of the times you got that player ass uncle, I was, man, 6 months removed from being that uncle that be at the gatherings and with somebody, you saved me, babe. You saved me. I'm just letting you know. You saved me from being that weird uncle at every gathering with a different, this your auntie, you such and such this year. Don't expect her to be here for Christmas. But, you got those family members that come through like that, and in this occasion, this family member brings different dates to the same dinner. So, I mean, in my mind, I'm just picturing they got shifts that they working. Like, you got the early shift, you know what I mean? You get to watch the first game. You here while we prepping the food. You get to be here while we bless the food. So if you get to be the one while we bless the food, you might be the favorite. That's why I'm looking at it. Like, if you there while the prayer go on and you get to see all the people before Uncle Junior fall asleep and all this other kind of stuff, then you part of that crew. Now, if you come later on when you get to watch the Detroit Lions game, the early game. If you come through and the Thursday night special, like the 49ers versus the Giants or something is on, then you might just be like the backup quarterback. You know what I'm saying? What else, Stacks? Happy belated birthday to you again, nephew. Glad you out there celebrating 21. Salute, soldier. You up here. You grown ass German Shepherd now. But what'd you say? They make the best potato salad. You know what? That's what it is. You make a good dinner. Like, if you part of the first one that come to dinner, if you part of the first one that come to dinner, you probably brought a dish. So you made some good potato salad. So Uncle Blankety Blanked and probably brought you by so you can bring some of the good stuff. Because everybody asking, you probably been around for some years too, and don't even know that you the first string auntie. You the first string auntie, and it's a backup auntie coming because she make good cakes and pies, and you make good potato salad. So your stuff go with dinner. Her stuff come later on. She done made a good sweet potato pie, or she done made some good 7-Up cake or some upside down cake that's gonna go hella good with some coffee later on in the nighttime when everybody either back in the kitchen again for the second go round while the nighttime game going on. So you got to think about that. All my people out there that's going to dinner with somebody for Thanksgiving for the first time this year, think about what time of the dinner you were there. That's what you got to ask yourself. Were you there during the early part of dinner when they saying grace? If you there during grace, you might be the favorite. You might be the favorite, because if you're not there during grace and during the nighttime game when everybody sleep, it's probably likely somebody else is there with them. If they not with you, after that portion goes on, either they done went to somebody else's house or they done brought somebody else back to the crib to be with the family after you went home and you're on the bench now. So you got to think about that, folks. You got to think about that, and it's nothing wrong with either way. I'm not here to knock anybody for bringing, the whole roster to dinner. Who am I? I that's variety. I may learn some different stuff. And we'll talk about that in a second. It's like, but again, I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying, hey, man, make sure you bring, Auntie such and such back again this year because she was funny last year. I'm not an advocate for you, rotating the roster through the living room with the family. So I don't know. I'm not here to say yay or nay what you're supposed to be doing in regards to bringing people to dinner. So, you got to, without causing any tension, right? You gotta, because it says here, you're navigating Thanksgiving tensions. That's the name you labeled yourself, navigating Thanksgiving tensions. So first of all, thank you for reaching out. So I always got to say that I appreciate anybody who takes the time out to reach out to me and seek any type of knowledge I may have to offer you and put on the table for you. I appreciate you, right? So, you got to look at it like as a bit of a revolving door situation at your Thanksgiving table, man. Or I don't know if it's a male or a female. It didn't say. It just said you got a family member. You didn't identify yourself as them, they, he, him, or her. So, person, navigating tensions. You got to look at it as if it's a revolving door, right? So if that's the way it's rocking and rolling. So first, you got to have some sort of empathy. Everybody doesn't have it, but if you can develop some in some way, shape, form, or fashion towards this situation, you have to be able to try to understand from your family member's perspective. Maybe they might be exploring relationships, or like it may not be as simple to them as it may come to you. You know, everybody doesn't rock in relationships the same way, if that makes sense, right? So in the event that they're exploring their options, whether or not they do the same thing every year, they still have not come to a collective decision within themselves to say, this is what I'm doing. So maybe they are exploring their options of how to navigate through this themselves every year. You think it's difficult for you dealing with people, different people coming to dinner with them? Think about how difficult it may be for them to try to pull it off. First of all, applaud them. Why you not clapping for that family member? Like, it's, man, because it may be auntie something. Because there's some pimping ass aunties out there too. Don't sleep on the ladies. The ladies be out there. They'll auntie such and such will bring this your Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil. What'd you say, Mira? Right? One is enough for me. Exactly. I feel you. One is enough. I mean, you ain't got to bring too many, but one is enough. What's this? Asha Johnson say, I'm not seeing the problem though. Let that person do them if it's not hurting it. And that's my thing too. Like, you know, it sounds like navigating through the tensions may be tense and tight within themselves. They may be kind of jealous of the family member. You know, maybe they jealous of the family member a little bit. You know, you got to think about it. Try to feel and understand how it is for them, you know, for simply enjoying different companionship. You know, they may be exploring different ways to make themselves feel good. And, you know, and all you really got to do is like, you know, to deal with the awkwardness of it, realize that everybody's relationship journey is unique. Theirs is just the way theirs is. It's not meant for you to completely understand it. You know, I'm always going to play angel on one shoulder, devil on the other shoulder, angel's advocate, devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it, however you want to slice that pie. But, you know, everybody's perspective and journey in relationships is unique, and it should be. That's the thing. It should be unique, because if it's not, if it's a cookie cutter version of somebody else's way of handling things, then they're not being true to them in a relationship. Like Asha Johnson say, I don't see the problem. What the problem is? I tip my hat to you, player. You know, I'm watching, studying. Trying to figure out, if, you know, in the event I get back in that realm, how does it happen? Because, you know, when you out there dating, you don't know what you want to do a lot of times. Just learn some game. You got to learn some game. You got to study it. Well, there go the knife. You got to study it. You know, you got to be able to study people and how they rock and roll. Learn it. Understand it. That way you won't be feeling so awkward and uncomfortable with it if you understand how they're moving and why they're moving that way. You know? Because you got to remember, like, anytime you handling awkwardness, anytime you handling tension, anytime you handling anything that makes you feel out of place, what's the number one thing I always tell you to utilize? Communication. Communication is your best friend. Being able to talk to somebody. But again, not talking to respond, but you are listening to order to absorb what it is they giving you. Take that in. Get some of that. Receive some of that. And maybe it'll help you understand it a lot better. You know? That's what you got to look at it like that. Like, you know, consider if it's making you that uncomfortable, consider having a private conversation with them, right? You know, as a family member, expressing your feelings calmly and openly, and always, anytime there's tension or some sort of friction, and you want to bring it down, you know, per se, like just like if your beer is bubbling up, you put your pinky in it and it make the suds go down, right? What is the pinky in the beer to make the things go down? And a lot of times that's just using the I statements. Like taking on a lot of what you're trying to understand as you just trying to understand it and not as you pointing something out to them, like for instance, like you want to say like, you never want to sound accusatory whenever you're trying to find something from somebody. Like you can always say something like, I've noticed a pattern of different dates at Thanksgiving, and sometimes it makes me feel a little bit awkward, or don't even say uncomfortable, just say awkward, because discomfort or uncomfortable, yeah, really, you put your pinky in the beer, Sweet Pea, you put your pinky in the beer, it make it go down. It's really the salt and the oils in your skin that make the bubbles go down. That's the physics of it all, but it just looks sweet because you put your pinky in there, and you know what I mean? You just make it happen. Matt Stewart said, take sacrifice. Like you said, being about the listen instead of always just wanting to be heard goes a long way. Exactly, being able to listen instead of always wanting to be heard. It goes a long way to be able to listen to what somebody's saying. Like, and you may get to understanding to why they're rocking like that. Ask them, can we talk about it? Another thing is, focus on being inclusive. If it, you do. I do know a lot of weird facts. I do. You're right about that, Sweet Pea. But like, try to focus on the inclusivity of it all. Try to be, not to be a part of it. Like, no, let me join the team. Let me figure it out. Or auntie, what's happening? No, none of that. What I mean, like, is embrace the variety, and with that, you can make each and every guest that the person brings feel just as comfortable as you made the last one. And it won't feel uncomfortable for you, because you have taken a conscious idea and understanding to embrace the variety of what's coming. Look at it like, I wonder who I'm bringing this year. Man, last year such and such was funny. I was mad when he left and brought the other one by. Whatever. Or, embrace it. And Lucy Lowe said, notice they all have the same nickname. He better? Who he or she better give them the same nickname. This Uncle Pooh. This your Auntie Riri. They better have the same name, because you gonna mess around and call them the wrong thing. The second one that come up, if they ain't got the same name as the first one, them drinks gonna get to flowing, or that food gonna settle in, and when you get sleepy, you slur and say the wrong stuff anyway when you're sleepy. Don't be sleepy and tipsy. You gonna talk all kind of, man, listen, you better have the same name for them people. That's a word to the wise, to whoever trying to pull this off. Make sure everybody got the same nickname. Their name can be whatever you want to be. It can be Jebediah, but everybody call him Jay. So the next one, his name AJ, but everybody call him Jay. If your auntie pimping like that, you better give her the game. Tell her everybody need the same nickname, because I'm not responsible for who I call them in the event that I've been having a couple cocktails in my system. So that gives you a chance to embrace the variety, make each guest feel welcome. They could actually turn into like a way to celebrate diversity in different perspectives. What's up, Coco? Sister in the building. It gives you a chance to embrace different perspectives. They may have something different to talk about than the first date. Like, or the first date may have a whole bunch to talk about, and you're like, damn, it may carry over to the next conversation. Exactly. She said, don't get Auntie caught up now. I know. Auntie better not get herself caught up. She better keep them nicknames the same. Everybody's nicknames better be the same, I'm telling you. But, it give you a chance to, like, see where different people are from and get different perspectives. It's like meeting new people, but through the same person. What's up, Hollywood? It's because you got the same MC to the event, your aunt, uncle, family member, whoever it is that's bringing them, that person's still the same. So the introduction ain't as weird because you got the same person introducing. So you comfortable enough with them to introduce you to this person. So that means they comfortable enough to introduce this person to y'all. That's what I'm talking about right there, right? So if that's the case, then embrace it. Embrace it a little bit. See what it's all about. Don't feel uncomfortable about this. What it says, what's your name? Navigating Thanksgiving tensions. Don't let it be tension. Let it be navigating Thanksgiving question mark, because it has so many possibilities to be so many different things. That's the way I look at it. If you don't limit it to just being like, dang, who this person bringing this year, or here go another one. Now I got to act fake. Don't be fake. Be real. If you embrace it and take it on as a new adventure, then it's a new adventure for you for real. So you're not lying. You're not faking the funk on the nasty dunk. You really are involved in the whole little, I remember how the movie Clue, they had different endings. There it is. You are in a live version of Clue when this person comes, because one, they don't have a clue that they not the only person coming to dinner today. That's number one, that they have zero clue. And two, you try not to give off clues that they are another person that came in today. So you got to figure it all out. So if you embrace it and you make it you become a part of the game, then there it is. See, I read a meme today that's one of my favorites I've read in a long time. Whenever I see something and I remember it like that, it stick with me. It said, I'm looking for teammates who don't mind what position they play. All they care about is if we win. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, you playing a whole different position in this, relationship game that your family member has got going on. They are trying to navigate through this themselves and figure out what it is they got to offer a relationship, or what it is if they bring them to the family, everybody don't just bring people around their family. So everybody should know this. I don't care who you are. Yeah, you got some cousins, they just bring almost all they little boy, but they trying to either get rid of them, or they trying to keep them along so they can try to show off the family, or let them know that they want them to be scared by the family. Whatever the case may be, people, even those that bring somebody to every event, they still kind of filter it a little bit before they bring people by the family. So if this person is bringing two people to the same family dinner, they in a hurry. They trying to figure out, like, okay, what I need to do, where I need to pull the trigger at tonight. Or maybe they not. Maybe this holiday hoeing. Hey, this is how they get down. Either way, you got a choice to make it non-tense for yourself. Talk to them about it. You know what I mean? What's up, Siobhan? Talk to them about it. Or you can embrace it and watch how everything moves. Take each person on as a different adventure. What about that? Understand the diversity to it. Like, and if none of that works, then maybe you need to shift the whole focus of how the Thanksgiving becomes. If you really want this family member around, and every year make it into somebody, bring somebody. And what's that say? You say, Lucy Lowe said, maybe they want you to tell so they can limit their options. And that may be it too. Family members look for you to filter, to get you to get rid of people. They may be wanting you to snitch on them sometime. Like, if Aunt Bernice was here, I know she wouldn't let me slide. Like, Aunt Bernice gonna tell on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't care. Like, now, Junior, this ain't who was here earlier, was it? Now, I just remember such and such bought that tater salad by here. Now, this ain't this child. Who is you, honey? Cause Aunt Bernice gonna tell. She gonna tell on you. So that person must be comfortable enough to know they don't have no Aunt Bernice at the dinner table. Or maybe they do got Aunt Bernice and they want to get rid of this second person. So they want to limit their options. They want to be like, damn, you got me caught up, Aunt Bernice. Nah, you set that up. You threw Aunt Bernice an alley-oop. That's another thing too. Good point there, sweet pea. Maybe they be trying to figure out who fits in at the family dinner table the best. Ooh. Hey, maybe they feeling both of them enough to kind of keep them around, but that sometimes family be that deciding factor, man. Family will make or break you sometime. Man, listen. Man, listen. Sometimes if you let your family decide on who you gonna be with, is one or two things gonna happen. Either you're gonna end up with somebody that's gonna treat you right according to how your family wants you to be treated, or you may even miss out on everybody that you may need to be with because your family done scared them away and you prioritize how they feel about them the most. But if you use your family as your lifeblood and then they your base for figuring out like they've never missed or they missed less than they've made, they made more than they've missed, then you may use them as your filter to figure out who fits in best at their table. What up, Gooseby? Ant in the building. What's happening with you? World famous actor. Ant Gooseby. Serious face. No, Stephen Ace with a V. But sometimes people trying to figure out who's going to be here next year, or who's going to be here at the next holiday, or who should I bring to the family cookout. That's what people be trying to decide. When they bring them around family, they really just using you as a filter. They want to know why going on, who you like. You don't like that person, and they don't fit well. Because I'm telling you, family, kids especially, you bring around some kids, man, they gonna tell you the truth about what them people about. They gonna tell you if they stink. They gonna tell you if they ugly. They gonna tell you if they mean. And you know that kids will tell on anything. Kids grow up snitching. That's their job. They to snitch people. They to be able to sniff out what they need to snitch on. Anytime you got kids that's around and they honest and they vocal, bring them people around that. Bring them around them kids, because they gonna tell your ass. They'll tell you, ooh, she stink. She smell funny, auntie. Like, he ugly. They gonna tell you. Maybe to the people face. That'd be the most telltale. Like, kids will tell the truth. Babies will tell you or animals. But everybody be like, I don't really rock. If you don't like animals, then you just weird. Because, sometimes animals, I ain't gonna say you like every animal, or I ain't gonna say you like big ass Great Danes if you got attacked by one. No, I'm not saying that. But, animals will tell the truth about it, but kids will vocalize about whether you good or you not. Or whatever it is that they may not have noticed about you. Why she walk like that, Uncle? Uncle try to give some little excuse afterwards. Uncle did that to her, knowing he didn't realize she had a kickstand for a leg. What up, Cali twin? Tell Roman and Kai Uncle on TV. I was playing. But yeah, so sometimes you got to figure out what's going on in a situation by using your family to filter out the people that you may or may not want around. Like I bring them around my homies. You know what I mean? Because my homeboy Al and my homeboy Jason and his twin ass brother, they'll tell you in a heartbeat, like, Killer, what are you doing? Like, never mind. But man, they'll tell you in a heartbeat whether, true friends and family will filter it out. That's why I like to call my brother family, because they friends and they family like, because I take their opinion at that type of value, and that's why you bring people around people to see if they fit into the family circle, But again, if all of this is too much for you to handle, and it makes it less awkward for all, because maybe you can handle it, but the other people at the table don't know how to handle it. So they probably came to you and was like, hey, man, what we going to do about such and such this year? How we going to get this dude to stop? Or how we going to get this gal to stop bringing all these blah, blah, blah? But you can go back and talk to them, because I saw you tune in navigating Thanksgiving tensions. You can go back and talk to them, tell them it's not as a tense situation. Let some of that air out. Let some of that air out, because if you don't, it's going to cause you to blow, right? So you don't want to blow up in the situation, because apparently you like having that family member around enough to where, you keep allowing this situation to occur. What they say, first one time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. Third time, that's your ass high top. If that's the case, if the discomfort is that high, the discomfort level is that high, right? So, either you embrace it or make it to where everybody brings somebody. That's a way to make everybody feel less uncomfortable. Bring somebody. Tell your kids, bring a friend. But that means there's going to be more food to be had at the table, though. So if you go answer that situation like that, then, or it may be the same amount of food, just less leftovers. You know what? I normalize inviting more people to Thanksgiving, so it's less. So we not eating ham and turkey on the 1st of December. That's all I'm saying. Like, because Thanksgiving is close to the end of November, so make sure we're not eating ham and turkey when December roll around. Is all I'm saying. If you normalize inviting more people to Thanksgiving dinner. So be thankful. What's up, Lulu Tally? Be thankful to your family members that's bringing extra people to the table, because, if in the event you still got leftovers. I'm not saying everybody got leftovers. Some people's plates is being made to the precise meat and 3. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to speak on nobody else's tables. But in the event your family got leftovers, if you still got them big ass foil pans in your refrigerator, if y'all was the host, if you the host family, you gonna have them big ass tin pans in your fridge for at least a week if you don't start normalizing bringing more people to the table. Everybody don't want to go out on cold Thanksgiving nights and give away the food. I'd prefer, if you got leftovers, give it to some homeless people. I believe they would really enjoy that. Take some time, make them into plates. You ain't got to be fancy with it. You can put a little bit of foil and put it inside a grocery store bag. You know what I mean? Like, put it inside a grocery store bag and take it and give it to some people. Just boom, 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 boom. Here go dinner, dinner, dinner. They may not have made it to the shelter that's giving out dinners. You know what I mean? Like, in the event that you want to do something like that. But you don't have to make it a big event. You can make sure you invite more people to the table. What up, JJ? In the building. You say, I give away everything. I don't eat many leftovers. That's what I'm talking about, Lil. You got, pay it forward. Paying it forward is inviting other people to the dinner table. So if your family member's bringing more people, embrace that. Find out something new about them. Maybe they, exactly, keep to-go plates. Everybody be like, don't bring them styrofoam, them the planet killers, but sometimes them is also the gift givers too. Because them to-go plates make a big difference. People can use those again and again sometimes in their situation. You never know what they storing in them to-go plates. You know what I mean? They can put a sandwich in there, eat it for tomorrow, take it for their lunch. They working, day labor. Them things be sturdy sometimes, So pay it forward. Get that food away. But a way you can do that is embrace these people that your relative is bringing to the dinner table. Maybe they like to do stuff like that. Maybe they've never heard of stuff like that. Maybe it's something, a new tradition y'all can create with this person if they open. Because apparently, again, you love your family member enough to keep them coming back to the dinner table. It's just making you feel a little uncomfortable or awkward. Let's use the word awkward, and let's not use it as uncomfortable, unless it is making you feel uncomfortable. I'm not here to tell you how it's making you feel. Now, again, I'm never here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to give you options. That's all I do. I give options on what can be done, right? Like, everyone is welcome here, especially our single friends and family members. Yes. Sometimes, you have friends that's like, I know this person ain't really got a whole lot of family with them. They family in a whole nother town. That's how me and the homie Al started cooking Thanksgiving dinner for everybody, right? We in Nashville, and everybody didn't go home for Thanksgiving. So we all from different places. So me and Al said, well, let's cook up something. Let's whip up something, and we'll invite other people over. We can potluck it out. Or we can just invite a bunch of people over that may not have, family around them to kind of, that's what it's called, breaking bread, right? Because they used to break bread and just pass it around the table, right? But you can also break bread, in other ways. That's a way of, to me, that's a way of tithing. People look for ways of, I can't give 10% of my money because all of it's got to go to my bill. You can tithe with your time and your giving of your efforts. That's tithing, in my opinion. But again, I don't follow all the rules of the Bible. Friendsgiving. My daughter going to one tomorrow. Well, tonight. She going to a Friendsgiving tonight. So it's good to have Friendsgivings because it's a chance for people to give of more than just, it doesn't always have to be a dollar sign attached to what you give. Giving time, like y'all giving me y'all time on here to me every week. To me, that's a gift. Y'all don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like the sponsors that do sponsor the show, I'm appreciative of them. Like, Old Market Street, this is brought to you in part by my homeboy Nigel. You know what I mean? Bringing back like the old image of old Market Street in Inglewood. You know what I mean? Like for those that know, IYKYK, if you know, you know. You can ride by this sign right now. It's scarce, but this old Market Street, Inglewood. But these are sponsors. You know, these are sponsorships. You giving of your time, you giving of your effort, you giving of your makings of stuff. That's a way you can pay it forward and think you should be thankful for those givings. Since we talking holidays, right? You know, embrace these things. Make it a potluck style of bringing people and not always dishes. Because even if you potlucking and more people going to bring more dishes or more bottled waters or more bottles of wine or more plates or more napkins, or people going to bring something, you know, people going to bring more energy. Make it a potluck of that. And those things can be more of a giving circle to where you never know what you are going to receive, just like you never know what people are going to take from what you're giving. You know, you're not here to decipher what people, you know, well, I don't think they were, you know, were thankful enough for what I did. How do you know? You know, if just because they didn't express their gratitude, they may have taken it in like damn near holding in tears because they don't know how to express that to you. So just like this family member may not know how to decipher between which person they want to keep around. During the holiday season, I want people to be more thoughtful and more mindful of the idea and the fact that everybody not only is different, but how they receive things are different. And everybody's perception is their reality as yours is, right? Well, people are like, well, I didn't mean it that way. Of course, you may not mean things that way, but how people receive them. If you go into it knowing that you don't fully understand how they received it, then I think that'll stop a lot of tension between people in wondering, you know, what was brought about in a conversation or a situation like this. If you don't express or talk about, you know, how you feel about this person bringing people to the table, you know, if it's not a food issue and things are running out, stuff like that. If things aren't running out, then talk about it. But talk about it in a mindset of take on the I things, like, because it's really you that's wanting to know, you know, how to handle this. Exactly. The miscommunication in understanding how people receive what you give them. Everybody's not going to take the ball the way you toss it to them. They're going to catch it differently. Some people going to catch it like this. Some people going to catch it like this. Some people going to one-hand it. So you can't. Some people going to drop it. So you can't be upset about their reception of what you're giving, even if they're asking for you to give. See, I had to learn this because it used to hurt my feelings. Like people would ask me for something and I give it to them and then they don't receive it the way I want them to receive it. But that wasn't the purpose behind me giving it. I had to realize that a long time. It took me a long time to realize that. The purpose of me giving it wasn't for them to receive it how I wanted them to. It was for them to be able to receive it in the first place. So if you talk about how this reception of things are, the communication lines between the two parties or the giver and the recipient, then it won't be any ambiguity on how you felt about giving it or how they felt about receiving it. Or so like if there's no understanding between you and this family member that's bringing people to dinner over and over again, if they don't know how you feel about it, then you can't expect them to receive it the way you would want them to receive it when you tell them. You got to let them know. You can't just drop a bomb on and be like, well, and then tell me how you feel about that. No. Talk to them about what you're feeling and ask them, let them know how this I, the me, and you don't even say we, because you don't want to speak for somebody else in this situation because then they're going to think you've been talking about them. And that's going to put up a defense mechanism. That's going to put up a wall. As soon as somebody thinks you've been ganging up and talking about them behind their back or even in their face, anytime people feel attacked by more than one person, they cover up. They feel the safest thing to do is cover up. So if you could keep it with the I's and the me's, like this is how this is making me feel in the situation. It's an awkwardness. Like I say, we're not going to use uncomfortable. Say it's giving me an awkwardness, an awkward feeling because I, as in you, don't understand how, I should handle it. Don't even say how you want me to handle it. No. Because then people think, well, what do you think you want me to do? That's how I want you to handle it, how you want to handle it. No, I don't know how I should handle this because it's making me feel a certain way. So that communication needs to be more open to their reception of how it's making you feel. So take ownership in all that is involved in it. Don't put it off on, well, this is how we've been feeling, or, because people don't ever want to feel attacked or ganged up on. And you don't want them to feel that way. You want them to be open to receiving what it is you two have to communicate about. And the quickest way to do that is by owning up to what the feelings inside you as the person who wants an understanding from them is feeling. You can't speak for anybody else, and you can't feel for anybody else, including the person with whom you're communicating with. So if this family member is making you feel uncomfortable, then you have to let them know that, because if they don't know that, then how do you expect them to correct it or not correct it? Because maybe they're not looking to correct it, but maybe they're looking to correct the feeling that you have behind it. Because if you discuss it, maybe they'll let you know, like, truth be told, I really value y'all's opinion. So this is the only reason why I bring these people around, because I know y'all going to tell me the truth when I ask. And that's probably the reason why I would tell them everybody should have the same nickname. But that way you can be like, oh, Boo with the purple hair. If everybody's nickname is Boo. Boo that came with you that time you were in that such and such car. But if you communicate about it, that's the easiest way to get to an understanding of how it makes you feel and how they can receive how you feel. And you can receive how they feel. Because it's not always, because anytime people want to get to the bottom of something and once they're got a resolution on their own feelings and after that, okay, it's cool, we're good. No, that's selfish. That's selfish as hell. Because just because you good don't mean that they good. So figure out why everybody not good and get everybody good. What's the problem? All it takes is a little bit more involvement other than just you and yourself. My cubano hermano. What's up, baby? But like, you got to think about it. Everybody receives things differently, so you can't expect them to receive it how you would. Think about how that makes you feel when people put expectations on your feelings. So, Mr. or Miss navigating Thanksgiving tensions, let's try to relieve some of the tension. And the way to do that is by being open and receptive to finding out, one, why things are progressing the way they are. Why are they bringing these people over and over, and without being accusatory. You never want to point the finger, because you know what I say? When you point the finger at somebody, 3 fingers are pointing right back at you. That stands for me, myself, and I. And that's how you are involved in the situation. So you can't just go pointing at other people, because somewhere in there, it's you. Either me, myself, or I has an involvement, or all 3. So if you go in with open hands and say, hey, sir or ma'am, or they or them, this is how you point back at you now. So now you're taking on all ownership with open hands. You pointing back at you now. This is how I am involved in this with you. But be open to however they receive that, though. That's the main point. You have to be open to how they're going to receive that. Because if you don't, then you're cheating yourself out of finding a real answer. If you don't, you're cheating them out of finding a real solution to any discomfort that you may be feeling, any awkwardness you may be faced with. You may feel like it's a disrespectful, but you have to go into that with the open-mindedness of trying to understand them first on why they do the things they do. Now they flossing and all in your face like, oh, I got O's. You think they coming in with area codes and they think it's funny. Then if that discomfort or if that awkwardness, then you approach it in that as such. Like, hey, just to be honest, it's the reason why I'm feeling this way. So have some meat to your conversation. Meaning, don't just go and be like, no, just because, man, I don't really like that because. Be like, why not? Why don't you like it? Help me understand. What about this do you not like? And if you don't have an answer, then you haven't really thought about what about it is awkward for you. What's up, Queen of my world? Thanks for joining in. That's how you figure out if you haven't thought about it and asked what's awkward for me in this situation, then how could you possibly be ready to present that to them and ask them, why are we here? You have to find, you have to, anytime there's a wall or anytime there's opposition, there's always some personal involvement. So once you find out what your involvement in the situation is and what it is about this whole situation, if you have some study, some research, some reconnaissance, some meat to your bone that you want to pick. If you want to pick a bone, it's got to be some meat on it. That's what the whole phrase, I got a bone to pick with you. And it's not just I want to pick out a bone. No, I want to pick the meat, the small portions of meat off this bone. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. But you got to have some meat on there to pick off. So go to the people with some meat on the bone and ask them, let them know, like, okay, this is why I feel this way, I mean, I hope these situations or, something someone has said online has, helped you out. Sometimes people are afraid to really express themselves. And this is true. Not everybody's going to be open to expressing themselves. And in the event you go in with the onus being on you, then hopefully that's a help in progressing that conversation about expressing themselves, And of course, people are always worried about what others would say. But that's, the best apology, the best, fix it is changed behavior. I heard that on the Breakfast Club a couple weeks ago. Charlamagne the guy said, the best apology is changed behavior. And I said, I'm going to hold on to that one. Because that's the truth, right? So if people are worried about what others would say, if you can change the behavior and how you would respond and openly act after a conversation, put the test to it. Talk to them about something. It does take maturity and self-love. You have to love yourself in order to change. Because in order to change, you have to realize there's something that needs changing. So you got to love you enough to say, hey, what can I do to upgrade me? Not somebody else upgrade me, or not me upgrade somebody else. What can I do to upgrade me? Love myself more, mature. And in order to mature, I have to realize where my adolescent thoughts are within that particular subject. If I'm mature in a subject, I got to know where my thought isn't grown up enough or grown to the point where I feel it's mature enough in that subject. So that's another thing. When you're dealing with these situations with maturity, talk to them with that same maturity. I hope any suggestions from the friends and family on here had helped out. Remember the holiday season is about togetherness and gratitude. It is. Exactly. Not just love yourself, but know yourself. And I feel in order to truly love yourself, you have to first continually want to discover yourself. Because you're constantly changing. You're growing, right? Like a tree. A tree grows. It may lose its leaves. It may, a branch may break here and there. The bark may chip, but the tree is continuing to grow, whether it be the roots in the ground that are strengthening it to its foundation. A tree. We are all like the tree of life. We're continuing to grow. You have to love yourself and continue to discover your growths. That's how you love yourself. To want to know, where am I changing? Why am I changing? What changes have and have not been made? So navigating Thanksgiving tension, I hope you're looking into yourself like, what about this? Why is this making me feel this way? And maybe you will go into it as an embracing thing. maybe you will talk to them about why it makes you feel that way. Maybe you will. What's going on, Sarah 623? Maybe you will take this as, an opportunity to grow and add more people to the table for the holidays. And in turn, now you are giving back in some way. Okay? So I hope these words helped any of y'all that's got like a family member out there that's, navigating through their relationship situations. Again, because everybody's situation is unique. Know that you should not even try to understand how people receive something, because it's not your lane to be in. And I always say there's no traffic, there's no collisions when you stay in your lane. So until next week, want y'all thank y'all again for hollering at the homie. And again, if you need to, send me an email to HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. And I appreciate y'all spending these last 55 minutes and 30 seconds with me today. So until next week, I'm going to holler at the homie in a minute.